And... Oops, that's the wrong button.
I feel like we're coming up to a very bad family schism, and I don't like it.
Are you going to win, or...?
I think we're going to
Well, Edmont's
sacrifice
going to
Evie.
win, obviously.
Edmont's going to win, obviously. All right.
Yeah, obviously.
Marching through the woods in the middle of the night.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Actually, I'm going to start back here. These are 5-foot squares, and Darkwood is taking the lead through the woods.
Thank you, DM Andy, for this wonderful map.
Are we on horses or anything?
You can be, but Darkwood is walking, and he's walking very slowly because he's got this huge burning log lashed up onto his shoulders, supported up there with thick twines of rope. And he is just lugging it forward. So functionally, Darkwood is going to be spending every round moving at half of his speed because he's carrying this encumbering log. And then using his action to keep it balanced. And that's when you start to hear the dark chirping in the trees surrounding you.
What do you guys think? Is he on his own?
No. He invited us to defend him.
You know,
Evie made no promise to defend him.
you know, if we defend him, he's going to think that we're serving him, right?
At this point, I think about half the party is serving him. Like, if Darkwood offered to just be the Duke, I think about half the party would just go with him at this point.
No, absolutely not.
No.
Well, he's
Like,
already
Evie
the
can-
Duke. All right, roll some initiative.
Oh, yeah. All right. For Orson, say Orson's on an 18, and I am on a 6.
Orson's on an 18, you said?
Yeah.
You start hearing screeching sounds around you in the woods. Creatures calling to each other. This isn't uncommon in your lands. There's no shortage of monsters and things that live out in the woods. But you haven't been made aware of anything particularly large or dangerous. There hasn't been much movement in any case throughout the winter. But you can hear the calls surrounding you, and it sounds like creatures calling to one another. And Victor, you're starting us off.
Can I see anything?
You can make an active perception check and tell me which direction you're looking. So you can look up the path, down the path, or into the woods on either side of you.
I think what we're going to do instead is we're going to hold our action. And if anything comes into view, Victor, if anything hostile comes into view, Victor will attack.
Let me ask this. What kind of light source are you carrying? He's got this log smoldering on his back, but it's not giving off much light. It's not this blazing fire, otherwise it would consume the log very quickly.
Victor would be carrying a torch then.
Okay.
And
So
then
which
whatever other-
direction are you casting your torch? Further ahead on the path, behind you, or off to one side in the woods?
Kind of off to the side in this type area.
So if you see a hostile creature enter that off to the south of you in the woods, you're going to attack it with a knife?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're staying put in that square, you're happy there?
Yeah, if the Duke isn't moving.
He will, but it's not his turn yet. The Duke is yellow. He's on, I think, 13? Yeah, 13.
Yeah, I'll stay here for now.
Who's next?
Orson with Evie on deck.
Orson.
Orson is just going to like his just a quick question. Like, has Darkwood indicated we should stay behind him?
Darkwood's not talking very much at all because he's focusing quite a lot on keeping this log balanced on his shoulders.
Right. Let me see.
So he hasn't given you much direction other than you can come along on the march if you like.
Orson is going to step forward and dodge.
Okay.
With his spear at the ready.
There is a whole page in 7th C, the book, about how they purposely don't have a dodge action because dodging is boring and stupid. I don't agree with that, of course. I think having dodging rules is very good in a game focused on combat, but that's kind of the mindset of the guy who wrote the book. He also thinks the Tomb of Horrors is the worst thing ever published.
It kind of is.
It really is.
But it has its place.
It was very good at doing exactly what it was supposed to do, so I guess it deserves credit for that.
So Orson steps forth and dodge. Who's next?
After Orson, we've got Evie with red token on deck.
My familiar is going to fly 60 feet up, and then
Okay.
he's going to just kind of 5, 10, 15, 20. He's going to basically do a sweep here, and what does he see in the woods?
The
Anything?
canopy of the trees, the illumination of Victor's torch, and the smoldering of Darkwood's log.
Okay. No movement in that direction. Evie will move here. She'll move right here. I guess she'll do what Victor does. She will ready an action to make an attack if a hostile creature appears within her range.
Okay, which direction are you facing?
I
Up the
think
path, down the path, north or south into the woods?
My owl said there was nothing to the north, so I'm going to hope that my owl was giving me good intelligence, and I'm going to... Which way are you covering, Victor?
Victor's covering south.
Okay, I'll cover forward then.
Well, just to be clear,
So
from the
actually, I'll
owl's
move here.
vantage point, would not be able to see anything under the tree line. Your owl didn't
Fair.
report there's nothing there, just that it was
Okay.
looking at the tops of the trees.
All right, I'll cover anything that's coming up the path.
Okay, that's very helpful. I didn't know you liked Darkwood that much. Who's next?
Red token with Edmont on deck.
Red token. This is going to trigger both Victor and Evie's held action as the first creature emerges from the tree line.
Attack!
You go first.
So that is going to be a... it's going to be an 18. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 will hit.
No sneak attack damage, I guess.
No.
So sad. That's going to be 6 points of sonic damage.
Okay.
My turn. Evie got a really high number. It's 27 to hit.
27 will hit.
All right. She does not do very much damage without a sneak attack, though. She does actually not that bad. 9 points of piercing magical damage.
Okay.
And well, because I made an attack, someone within 30 feet of me can also attack, but there's no one really close unless Edmont wants to take a shot with his bow.
Is Edmont currently holding his bow?
Probably not.
No.
Okay. Then
All right.
Edmont cannot take a shot with his bow then.
All right then. That's it for me then.
All right. The thing's going to
Because Victor doesn't have a reaction.
The second one comes out of the tree line behind you.
What? Why doesn't Victor have a reaction?
You just
You
used it.
used it.
Oh.
Otherwise, I would have let you do it.
And a third one from up the treeway.
So, what are these things?
They are very large bats.
Gross.
So they're creatures. They're almost this. I mean, they're much larger than a typical bat would be, and the shrieks that they emit are not that of the standard bat either. They almost sound like faraway screams, and they're definitely calling to one another in some way, coordinating. However, instead of the little bat face with their little bat fangs and whatnot, a long insect-like proboscis comes off the front of the faces.
Gross.
Okay, he's going to. That's a crit from Orson as he enters the threat range
Okay.
for 11 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Magical piercing damage.
All right. Let's go ahead and each of them get 2 attacks. We're starting with Ekon. Actually, Ekon, are you carrying your familiar on your shoulder or something?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's kill the familiar first. I have a 12 to hit.
Give me a second. AC 13 on a hawk.
So that hits.
No, that misses.
That
He
misses.
rolls
All
well.
right. Then I have the other attack is an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that gets him.
Do I need to roll damage or is the hawk just dead?
No, that's just going.
Okay. We'll kill the hawk first. And then the thing swoops, as it swoops at you with its claw, and it manages to stab your hawk with this proboscis, and then flies up above your head, circling you. Evie,
Uh-huh.
what do you have on your shoulder here?
An owl.
Oh, do you?
He's a good owl, but he didn't see that thing coming, so I think he's going to get what he deserves here.
Well, it came
Damn.
from under the tree line, so if you send your owl up over to try to look down... like, this is just unreasonable expectations at this point. I have an 11 to hit your owl.
That is exactly what hits an owl.
All right, so that's with the claw. Do I need to roll damage, or is it this? It's a familiar.
Yeah, he's just got 1 hit.
Okay.
He's gone.
And I've got an 11 to hit Evie with the proboscis.
Well, that does not hit Evie.
Okay, then as it swoops down and attacks, then it swoops up above you. A good 10 or 15 feet or so above you, circling. And Orson. I have a 21 to hit Orson.
Yep.
I wasn't expecting to hit Orson. 10 points of slashing damage from the claw. And then I have an 8 to hit Orson with the proboscis.
No.
The thing swoops down, claws at Orson, and then swoops back up in a circling about 10 feet overhead. And the 3 creatures continue to scream at each other. Who's next?
After red token, we've got Edmont with Darkwood on deck.
Okay. So these things are directly on.
No, they're circling 10 or 15 feet overhead. They swooped in from the trees, tried to claw at your companions, and then swooped up, circling overhead.
Can I reach one with them? Can I reach the one on my above my brother with a whip?
What's the range on a whip? 5 feet?
10.
10 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Seems reasonable. Whip it good.
I'll go ahead and take a swing at it. It's an 18 to hit.
An 18 will hit.
Let's see. That's 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And I'm going to go cross here. I'm going to take a swing at the one. Actually, before I do that, Can that one go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Sure.
DC is 14.
21.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't change my action. I'm gonna go ahead and cross over to here and take another swing with my extra attack
Okay.
at the one over Evie. That's a 22 to hit.
22 will hit.
10 points slashing damage to that one. And can you make me that same saving throw, please?
Let's find out.
See if it was a lucky roll or not.
That is a 20.
Then I will go ahead and continue to here, and then I will use a third key point to dodge.
Burning all the key points. All right, who's next?
Darkwood with blue token on deck.
Darkwood can move half his movement forward down the path, and he uses his action to keep the log balanced upon his shoulders.
Blue token with Ekon on deck.
There aren't any blue tokens just yet.
I can move out from under this thing, right?
Yes, it's circling above your head.
I'll put it back one over. So on Ekon's turn, he will move 5, 10, to there. And then he is going to cast Spiritual Guardians, which creates an emanation of spirits in a 15-foot radius around, within 15 feet of him.
Okay.
Let me double check when this actually matters. I designate all of my allies in Darkwood and their familiars and whatnot as unaffected by it. So a creature's speed is half when they're in that area. And when it enters or starts its first time enters or starts its turn in there, it gets to make a wisdom save.
Okay. Against damage.
It'll be a wisdom save against, radiant damage.
I like how you specified that. All of my allies and Darkwood.
Yeah. And their familiars and whatnot.
I think Darkwood has made his intentions clear.
And then as a bonus action, I will telekinetically pull this one 5 feet downward into the area of the effect. So I can get a DC 17 strength saving throw, please.
Okay. I have a 16.
Nope. So now it's in the area, so it'll start its turn there.
Okay.
So it's 10 feet up instead of 15 now. That's the end of Ekon's turn. We've got Genie with Victor on deck.
Genie, fix it.
So within 15 feet of me is Spirit Guardians. It's good to be in.
So Genie is going to. This thing's up in the air, so I'm not.
Yeah,
in
it's above your
range.
head.
Correct.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna take a step over here, and I'm going to use my action to summon. I guess we'll just go with the protector turret.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my bonus action to actually light my dagger. So now I have this light on me.
Okay.
So the turret doesn't do anything just yet.
And moving or staying
Let's
put?
see. I am fine exactly where I am.
All right. We've got end of the order, then Victor with Orson on deck.
Victor, fix it.
Okay. Victor is going to move over next to Darkwood within Spirit Guardians. He is going to tell Darkwood that if he wants to complete his ritual, terms are 1/5.
What are you? Why do we let Victor speak? You hear Genie say.
So you spend your turn trying to negotiate with Darkwood.
No, he's going to mention that, and then he's going to attack this thing above Orson.
Okay.
Always from a position of strength. So bonus action is going to be a Hunter's Market.
Gotcha.
And is it close enough to account for a sneak attack?
It was 10 feet above Orson's head, and
Yeah.
Ekon pulled it down. So yeah, Orson's within 5 feet of it.
Okay.
Which means you're also within 5 feet of it. You've entered its threat range as well.
Good thing Horson has Sentinel now.
So this is going to have to be a melee attack, not a ranged attack.
From where Victor's at?
Yes.
That's like 10 feet from the thing.
No, it's 5 feet, because it's 5 feet above Orson's head, which means it's in like a cube of space adjacent to you. Oh, no, it's not. I was looking at Ekon down here. Never mind. No, you
Okay.
I've only been
that's
looking
fine
at
if
these
it is,
characters
but-
for 50 sessions. You'd think I'd know who's by now. Never mind. My apologies. No, please, kill my innocent monster that's done nothing wrong.
Okay, if an 11 misses, then I'm going to use my new thingy to bump it up by 5 to a 16.
Your new thingy? 11 does miss.
Okay, then it's going to be a 16.
16 will hit.
Okay.
Nice 15-foot radius there, Destil.
That's going to be 33 points of psionic damage.
Okay. And the creature circling above Orson is bloodied. Victor, moving or staying put?
He will stay put.
Okay, who's next?
Got Orson with Evie on deck.
Orson,
Well,
what
actually,
do?
like a 17.5 because it emanates out for me, so my space doesn't count.
He's going to poke up at the creature that's circling above his head.
Poke or stab with his spear?
Isn't it the same thing?
No.
Okay, he's stabbing. That's a 24 to hit.
Treble, I can poke you with a knife without damaging you.
So I will point out, Brick Road, that in Flumph of the Wild, I said I poke a man with a dagger, and you told me you can't poke, you can't stab lightly. It's either you're doing the full damage or none at all.
Well, yeah. And if you poke, you're not stabbing. If you stab, you're not poking. This is very cut and
Anyway,
dry.
that was 8 points of damage for if a 24 hits.
It sure does. And that thing
Stabbing and poking series feats.
falls out of the sky and dies.
Does
Alright.
it fall out or is it impaled on Orson's spear?
Well, I'm assuming he would stab it in a way that he wouldn't impale it, because if he impales this thing and has it on his spear, now he can't stab something else. You don't want to get
that
your
is-
weapon embedded in the monster.
That's a 19 to hit for the one above Evie,
That'll
if I
hit.
can reach it. Okay.
You can't. It's 10 feet above Evie. Unless he wants
You
to throw...
can't.
He can throw
Okay,
his spear
no.
at it.
No.
He would need 10
Yes.
feet of reach from that square to reach that creature.
No. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
He'll just stay right here.
All right, after Orson, we've got Evie with Red Token on deck.
Technically, this thing has not swallowed you yet, Evie.
No, but it's going to
Yeah.
try to eat me.
It does
Just
have
to do-
rules
it's-
for eating you, yes.
Yeah, it does have that. Now, it's not technically adjacent to me, so I can't get sneak attack, can I?
Correct. It's not
But I
adjacent to
can-
anybody. It's 10 feet away.
But I can steady aim,
Yeah,
and that will give me sneak attack. So let's do that.
do that.
It doesn't mean I can't move, but we're not going anywhere very quickly, so I think that's okay.
Throw the dagger straight up, have it come straight back down.
I mean, it's a returning dagger, so.
Thus ended the
Yes,
life
that
of
doesn't
Evie
happen.
Veritas.
Okay, so I got a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
Like throwing a lawn dart.
Yeah. I think Evie has some of those.
I do.
Dagger literally got cursed at one point to do that when she threw it horizontally, so.
Yeah, that dagger's been in timeout for a while after it did that to me. 15 points of magical piercing damage.
Okay.
And I designate Victor. If he would like to use his reaction to attack the creature over my head, he may do so.
I would like to do that.
Okay.
Alas,
I say, stop embarrassing us and do your job.
I don't have sneak attack, unfortunately, but does a 19 hit?
It does.
Please enjoy 10 points of psionic damage.
And the thing is bloodied.
And that is the end of Evie's turn because she cannot move.
Okay.
Got a Red Token with Edmont on deck.
So the one on Evie needs to make a saving throw.
Yep, Wisdom save 17.
I have a 15.
Okay. So it'll take 10 radiant damage at the start of its turn.
Okay. So yeah, the thing's gonna fly higher up and out of the range of spirit guardians. The other seems hesitant to enter the range of it either. However, both of the creatures flapping their wings while they're circling in place, the torchlight that is mostly what's illuminating the area plays on both of the creatures strangely, and shadows fall off of them. How many shadows, you ask? Let's find out.
I didn't ask that.
I think the more important question is why are shadows following off of this thing?
Because they're not shadows.
I'd
Well,
really
something
like them
has
to
eat Evie, so let's just be real about that.
I'd really rather things not fall off of these things.
It already happened, my dude.
Oh, God, that's... Brick Road, why would you do this to me?
And that's the end of red token.
Got Edmont with Darkwood on deck.
Edmont. Shadows, smaller bat-like creatures, have emanated out of the larger ones, and are currently just kind of circling the parent creatures above.
On the ground, or...
No, up in the air, where the bats are.
I'm gonna go ahead and... Can I, I'm gonna crack my whip on that one, right?
can't.
Am I in the range if I go there?
The red one flew up above the range of Spirit Guardians. The Spirit Guardians reaches 15 feet. So you're going to need a ranged attack to hit anybody in the air right now.
Okay, I will switch to my bow and shoot at the red one.
Okay.
That's a 13 to hit.
A 13 will not hit.
Second arrow. Nat one.
Nat 1.
Yeah, just let me
Will
go
not
and
hit,
mark
and
off
it's
this.
embarrassing.
Yeah, let me mark off that arrow, those arrows. And
That should be the critical fumble roll.
Even if he attack
Hold my
himself, he can
position.
catch arrows.
hold my position here.
Okay. Who's next?
Darkwood with blue token on deck.
Okay. Darkwood leaves the range of the Spirit Guardians and uses his action to keep the log balanced.
He's a fool.
Blue token with Ekon on deck.
Okay. The swarms of creatures are staying just outside of the range of the Spirit Guardians. None of them seem too interested in attacking you from this position if it means having to enter the range of these spiritual defenders. Who's next?
Ekon. So Ekon raises his holy symbol overhead, and I'm going to need a DC 17 con save from every hostile creature within 30 feet of me.
I think it's all of them.
Yeah.
I think it's everybody.
Does Darkwood count?
Does Darkwood count?
No, I'm not affecting Darkwood.
Does Genie's general disposition count?
I'm sorry, you said a con save?
Yes.
And
I
I'm
mean,
looking-
technically, if it says hostile to me, so that's kind of up to him.
That's... Well, it's up to you to decide who on the battlefield
No,
you're
he's not.
considering
No,
an
I
ally.
was just joking.
Okay.
He's not.
I'm a little afraid to ask, but does Evie count as your ally?
I'm looking for a 17. Is that correct?
You're looking for 17.
Okay. So I've got a pass, a pass, a pass, a fail. A pass, fail, fail, fail. All right, so both of the red ones passed.
Okay.
2 of the blue ones passed. I'll let you decide which 2.
Let's say the 2 closest to me. So that's 17 radiant damage or half on a save.
Okay.
Let's see. So
And-
five,
Oh, yeah, no, this one too.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
And the Spirit Guardians moves with you?
Yep. Maybe actually stop here, let people get inside a little better. All right, I've got a bonus action. Is there anything worth doing with that? I guess I'll telekinetically pull this one closer to the ground so people can maybe stab it.
All
So
right.
I'm going to need a C17 strength save.
I have an 8.
Nope, 5 feet down towards the ground.
All right, so it is now reachable from the ground with a 5-foot reach.
Yep, that's the end of my turn.
All right, who's next?
After me, we've got Genie with Victor on deck.
All right.
Lie about your name once.
Well, Vincent is the fake name he's been using, so you're kind of not wrong.
That's what I keep accidentally calling him Vincent.
Victor responds to either.
It's his
Genie
middle name officially.
is going to just shoot that man.
It's a bat, but okay.
Batman, would
No,
you say?
It's not Batman.
All right. Does a
Okay.
22 hit?
Sure does.
Okay. He takes 22 fire damage.
Okay, and the thing is bloodied.
And then Genie, Victor, Ekon, Edmont, Orson, and Evie are too far away. You get 13 temp hit points.
Woohoo!
I dig it.
You know, I could have actually stepped here and gotten the same number of people and Darkwood, and I didn't think to do that.
Didn't think to.
Why does everybody hate Darkwood? He's such
It's
a nice
I
guy.
don't hate Darkwood. I just miscounted the. My brain goes token, not important.
So you're staying. So I should have made a little Darkwood, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, you're staying put there.
Yes.
God,
Unless you'll let
Victor-
me go. Unless you will let me take it back and go here and do that. But yeah, no, it's fine.
I'll allow that actually, if it's your intention to include Darkwood in receiving those temp hit points.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It's like I can't get.
I will allow that.
Okay.
I'm
all
got
right. Cool.
happy to do
Victor
that.
with Orson on deck.
Victor, fix
You
it.
said 13 temporary HP.
And Orson's
Okay.
on deck.
Mm-hmm.
So Victor will, I guess, steady aim and attack this thing
Okay.
since nobody's close. Does a 14 hit?
14 does not hit.
Okay, then it's going to be a 19, and I'm just burning these psionic dice.
19 will hit. Can you be the guy?
Rolls like that, I don't know. It's going to be 27 points of psionic damage.
It's pretty good. And yeah, the third thing falls and hit the ground. The three creatures, the large ones, are actual physical creatures. The rest of them, which Ekon just burned away with radiance, were just shadows that have been now dismissed. For Darkwood's part, he doesn't even break his stride. He hasn't missed a step nor dropped his log, and he continues the march. How long does Spirit Guardians last?
10 minutes.
Do you keep it up for the full 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Do you replenish it again, or do you just let it
No.
fall?
I'll let it run out.
Okay. The rest of the journey is, I won't say uneventful, because you're marching through dark and mysterious woods in frankly bizarre circumstances. But you aren't attacked again. Until finally you reach the site that Victor, Edmont, and Genie recognize as the one Darkwood has chosen to build his hearth. It's just before dawn, so pinks and oranges are starting to enter into the cloudy sky. Can I close my books without banging my microphone? Probably not.
I mean, that's on you, Brick Road. That's your motor skills that you're talking about there.
Darkwood stumps up to the hearth, and for the first time, he lowers the log, bows his head forward, pushes the log with his shoulders and elbows up over, and it crashes down into the stone hearth. Still lightly smoldering. And he's breathing heavily. You can see where he's got scratches and burns on his shoulder and upper back from having carried this log all this way. Breathing heavily and watching the hearth very, very intently for a few moments. And then you witness something miraculous. The log in the hearth suddenly bursts into flames as though a powerful fire had been stoked there. Instead of the smolders running out to ash, they've instead taken root. And you see the clouds in the sky above you split and part. And down the middle of it, in the pre-dawn sky, you see a rainbow. Very uncharacteristic for how dry it's been this week. Darkwood drops to his knees and holds his hands triumphantly above him and is laughing at the spectacle.
Did we, like, is it okay to speak, Ekon? Like, I don't want to be disrespectful of whatever's going on.
His hand up.
Victor will nudge Genie and say, I wonder which god that really is.
Genie says, Ekon said be quiet.
So you guys are being quiet, letting him have his moment?
Yeah.
I'll be quiet, but I would like to try to assess from Darkwood's point of view why he would have chosen this place. Because Evie suspects he chose a place that would be defensible. But does that seem to be the case?
No. It's a piece of wetland. The only notable element of it is the stream that bisects the land, but you don't have the stream within eyeshot of where you're standing, where he's built this hearth. It's not near to where the stream flows. It could be made defensible. You could clear away some of the trees. You could build a hall or a fort here. You could dam up the stream and divert it to make a moat. Like, it could be made defensible. But there's nothing notable about the land that he chose.
Nothing notable to me. I suspect there's something.
Evie's just looking around, waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Just spinning, like, spinning very rapidly into a paranoia spiral.
Darkwood eventually stands, and he motions to the rainbow in the sky, which, as the sun begins to rise, fades fairly quickly from sight. So, my friends, I give you the greatest power in the multiverse. Forgiveness. He seems very pleased and relieved.
You are not in your god's good favor?
I've overcome vices of my own choosing. And I offer you my gracious thanks for your defense upon the road.
Colonel bow. Nod.
It's not what. Well, we were taught better than. That's
It's not
basically
better
how
to
we.
let a man go into the wood defenseless.
Yep.
Now that this favor has been returned to you, what will you do?
I will build my hall. My plans haven't changed. Have any of you thought to bring wine? Something to drink?
Jeannie pulls out her bag of holding and says, I have so much alcohol in this bag. You do not understand. And then she'll start talking about how, like, we went on a ghost train and, like, I just stuffed the entire contents of this bar into my bag, and it's just been sitting here because I don't drink. And I can't, and I'm afraid to leave it out because Victor will drink it all.
Darkwood rummages around in a filthy coin purse hanging from one of his belt loops and fishes out a handful of silver coins. and treats all of you to some wine.
You have a glass in there, Genie?
Jeannie probably has flasks.
Well, Darkwood's pulling straight from the bottle, and we'll
Right.
pass it around.
That's fine with Jeannie. She doesn't care.
Evie doesn't drink. Well, she does, but not here. Not at this moment.
Ekon feels a little uncouth to drink right from the bottle, but he won't turn down.
I mean, I'll give you a flask. Like, I have beakers and flasks and various glassware in my bag if you don't mind drinking out of something that might have had other unquestionable chemicals in it at some point.
I mean,
Darkwood's like,
looking
what,
for
my
wine.
backwash isn't good enough for you?
Victor will take a beaker because it seems cool.
Darkwood is happy to spend the time now that he's finally resting and relaxing. And you can see some exhaustion is starting to set in. Whatever strength he was pulling from to make this arduous journey is starting to fail him.
Victor would like to actually look at the hearth and the log and see if it's what kind of magic is there.
You've never seen a fire happen like that before without magic. You can easily build a fire in this hearth of that size. The hearth itself is big enough to... similar to the one that you have back in the village in your long hall that you finished before building the rest of the outlying houses. But all he did was throw this smoldering log into the hearth and then waited a few moments, and the fire basically lit itself. At this point, you don't see any traces of magic that weren't there, but there had to have been some kind of interference, supernatural, divine, or otherwise.
Well, what are you going to do now?
Work. I'm going to collect lifetimes of bitterness, resentment, and ambition, and recast them in a constructive direction. I'm going to live and create wealth and share what I make.
Jeannie starts like elbowing Evie elbowing Evie.
Evie just kind of eyes you.
Like she's like motioning at like she's doing the like that sounds like what you want to do.
Do I think that's actually what he wants to do?
That's up to
I
you.
don't.
He's in a very good mood. He also seems to be getting very tired. He's also had long pulls of this bottle of wine.
Do we have anything to eat? That was quite a hike.
I mean, you guys slaughtered a boar a few hours ago.
Yeah.
Like I
He
imagine
didn't take any
actually-
of the meat himself. He has not eaten anything. He took the hide of the boar.
I will offer her Jeannie probably packed up her portion. And
Okay.
she'll offer some to him.
And he takes
Take
it, but he insists on exchanging it for a fistful of silver.
I mean,
Why do you keep trying to pay for things?
Because an honest man ought to, don't you think?
It was offered as a gift. Do you pay for gifts?
I like gifts. I like them well enough. Would you have a gift for
Receiving
me,
them-
sir?
Receiving them, I see. Not so much giving them out. I would wager.
He asked Victor if Victor would take a gift from him.
Of course. We're friends, are we not?
I say a gift, but in truth, you would be doing me a service. I don't know the details, but I have observed that something ails you. I know that your cousin prays over you every morning. I've seen magic like that before.
Go on.
He bids you come forward and sit
Victor
next to
will
him.
step forward. You will step forward and sit next to him.
Bear with me one moment. Okay. Ekon.
Mhm.
Make me either a religion or arcana check. Make this at advantage because I think you're trained in both. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay.
I think they're the same bonus too. So let's see here. 17 and then same 22 on either.
A 22? Unless you step in to intervene, you're fairly sure Darkwood is about to call upon the power of his god to try to balm Victor's ailment. The ailment that you yourself have not been able to cure, only alleviate.
Seems fine to me. I can't do anything about it.
Victor.
Yeah.
He lays his hands on your shoulders, and his thumb and his fingers dig into your neck and back, and he speaks a prayer in a language you've never heard before. And you feel nausea rise up in your stomach. You feel overwhelmingly sick. I'll let you fail this save if you choose, but it's going to be a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, Victor has some idea what he's trying to do, so he'll fail it on purpose.
So, you kind of lean into it, and before you know it, you're just expelling bile and semi-digested boar meat, and probably no small quantity of wine, and whatever trace residue of bizarre chemicals were in Jeannie's flask. You vomit more violently than you ever have in your life. And at the end of it, you feel incredibly tired. At which point, Darkwood lowers you to the ground, so you're laying before his hearth. Your shoulder and your arm just slop down in the mud and vomit. Darkwood also looks very exhausted. He looks to Ekon. You need not speak your prayer tomorrow. Hyamdall has seen to it. I believe I'll retire now.
Not appreciatively.
Rowan Darkwood, I do not understand. 3 days ago, you stood before me and implied that you would simply take my duchy if it pleased you, and yet now you speak of doing miraculous works of charity and good throughout the world. What are you?
He tells you he's the Duke. Then he goes to sleep. So the question is, the next morning, Ekon, is do you say your ritual prayer over Victor? With Victor, when you wake up, you don't feel any different than you did this.
I mean, I'll prepare the ritual as usual, and I'll do a medicine check.
Okay.
To see if I can still see the wounds I haven't been able to heal.
Yeah, go ahead and make that check.
If it matters, I'm using a spell to get advantage. So that's a 18.
Okay. As far as you can tell, Victor is healed from his ailment. You don't see the residual evidence of it that you've been tracking for days and days. You won't know for sure until you skip his treatment.
Oh, looks right. All right, Victor, you want me to not say the prayer?
Let's see what happens, yeah. If I start to vomit blood, fix it.
No, you don't wake up vomiting blood.
Jeannie goes, the poison didn't work.
Because I vomited all up.
So how do you guys leave things with Darkwood? He's gonna stay behind here and begin construction on his hall.
I'm gonna just pull Evie aside real quick and say, "Look, Evie, you can either have this guy as you can have him as someone who claims to be your vassal, or just completely independent. One of those, I think, is slightly better for you." That's all I have to say on the matter. Ekon will start getting ready to head back home.
Okay.
I agree with my brother.
Victor will thank Darkwood for the gift and let him know that if he needs help to give him a call, tell Evie to do the right thing, and then he'll head home.
Darkwood insists that as far as the healing goes, you gave him as much as he offered you. And he tells you that he lacks a way to explain it better than that.
Victor will just nod and say, sounds good.
Perhaps your cousin knows. He motions to Ekon.
Glad it was a mutually beneficial transaction. Or gift in this case.
So to put a pin
These
in Darkwood
guys-
for now, the three options, as I see them, are you leave things as they are, you return to the village and leave Darkwood to his whatever he's going to do. Or you oppose him right now and try to tear down his hearth because you don't want him building there. Or you agree to his terms.
Evie sighs, steps before Darkwood. Says, Duke Darkwood, will you offer me the greatest gift in all the universe? Forgiveness.
He tells you he doesn't think there's anything to forgive. He says that you've gained some of the experience and wisdom that he's claimed you don't yet have. He cannot fault the ignorance of youth, but persisting in the ignorance of youth would indeed be a great sin. He also says there's a great amount of ignorance in experience.
You have saved my cousin's life. For this you have my eternal gratitude.
And do I have this land that I've asked for then? 1/10 of all incomes? Are we agreed?
Indeed, so long as, should the need arise, you would offer your services again.
Well, you woke me up for a reason. See no reason to turn you away if you come in the spirit of friendship.
Evie pulls out from her bag the contract that she tore up. She taped it back together, Doc Brown style, and she's already signed it. And she gives it to him, but she's crossed out the terms to amend the rate that he prefers now.
So 1/10 instead of 3/10.
Yes.
In some ways, for a moment, you reminded me a little of my last wife. I think you're smarter than she turned out to be.
Did I hear McDohl laughing?
I guess.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I was about to ask, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
He's not inclined to talk about her yet.
Oh, I can imagine he's not.
It's gonna make Evie the new Miss Darkwood.
She's a little young for him.
No, she's not.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nylesia was younger than Evie is. Nylesia
Yeah,
was 18.
Nylesia, yeah. That's not a tree you want to bark up.
I don't know. Does Evie offer marriage?
No.
She could do a lot
Evie
worse
says-
than Darkwood.
Evie says that she looks forward to an interesting relationship. I think interesting is the correct word.
Yeah. Other than that, does Jeannie have something?
Before, not necessarily right now. She's going to ask his permission to speak to him privately before they leave.
Okay. You guys can all go ahead and take the benefits of a long rest, should you desire.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, Jeannie, there's a lot of opportunity to pull him aside if you want.
Right. I just want to pull out the spell book,
Mhm.
and we were told that you were at least knowledgeable of arcane magics, and I have some basic knowledge of it, but this right here is at a level that is not generally not available where we're from, unless
Are you
Like-
asking him to identify the spells in the book?
Yeah, I'm asking him if he can.
Okay.
Like-
He tells you that he has a lot of work ahead of him in order to regain his knowledge of arcane spells. He hasn't yet made that attempt. He thought it more prudent at first to try to regain his connection with his lost god.
Huh?
That said, he is able to identify the 3 spells in the book.
Okay.
They are Blade of Disaster,
Okay.
Time Stop, and Power Word Kill.
Those are really powerful spells.
He tells you that this tome has no small amount of magic, and that if you don't understand the powers of it to the point where you can't even read this book, it is much too dangerous a device to be in your possession.
No.
I
I disagree with what you just did, but